This video is assuming you already have a clean carburetor, and you probably looked online and saw a million different ways to clean these things. This is more for tuning and assuming you've already got your carb cleaned. Okay, this is a Mikuni 8V0-02 carb. I'm just going to show you a few things. Here's the 17 mil, get these ball nuts off, and that houses the main jet, which you can take out with a little screwdriver. I use a 6mm blade, fits in there perfect, or 1/4 inch, you know, that just screws in and out. That's a pretty easy thing to do. And then the ball comes off. You have access to these rubber plugs, which you can see are Yamaha's part number 8V014118. One goes over the pilot jet, and then the center tube. Okay, the pilot jet, I use about an 1/8 inch flat blade. It's about 3mm. Just so you know the difference between a pilot jet and a main jet. I'll take this back out. I think a lot of people are having trouble deciding which one is the pilot and which one's the main. Well, this one's the main, and the smaller one is the pilot. Here's a spec for this float height. It's about 12mm, I think. There's some variation there. I just made a mark on my screwdriver. Basically, I just hold that up there to check them. Just make sure they're bouncy. And then I think that's about 7/16. These bowls sometimes leak, not so much around the gasket here. I've done about 30 of these, have never had to replace a gasket. The leak normally occurs right here, where this jet holder or bowl bolt goes in. There's a little metal washer, and what happens is this gets, you know, you put the bolt in there, and a lot of times they're over tightened trying to get the leak fixed, but what happens is it pushes this surface inward, and so now you have to get something like a punch. I put it on a concrete floor and just tap that out, make it as flat as possible. Then you get a nice good seal, and you still tighten that bolt up tighter than you'd think. So after you're all cleaned and put back together, I do one final test to make sure the needle and seat's working, and I blow in the fuel inlet valve. In the down position, you should be able to get air through it. I can hear air in there, so we know the fuel would get in under pressure. And now with the carb in the inverted position, if you blow in that, you shouldn't be able to blow. And that tells you your needle and seat's working. Here's a mixture screw, and on these Phazer carbs, you just run them in, not ram it in, but just till it stops, and then you just back it out 1.5 turns. Half, 1, 1.5. That's the factory setting. And you can go a little bit further either way, depending on your condition. So to sync these carbs, there's a screw right here that you adjust, and what I do is I just adjust that for wide open throttle. Just make sure that those butterflies are level, and that's all I do. It's worked every time.